Okay. Okay, so with the scene over here, with this, this window over here, I am going to try to describe the first thing that's happening. So it looks like, so the place that they started it, or that we would need to start it is, this is one shot. Okay, did you see how that it goes from, it's just filming Napoleon. And so that was a medium shot. It was half his body. So up in the script, I would write medium shot. And it's not moving and it's eye level. So medium shot, eye level, still. That's the type of shot it is, okay? So you have to describe the shot, right? And then you just say what happens. There's no words in it. Did you notice that? Napoleon doesn't say anything in that. He's not saying anything. So we're just saying Napoleon walks into the camera and looks at Kip. Okay, that's just one shot, okay? One shot. The next part is this, starts with this thing, and that is a long shot. It's his full body. Long shot, eye level. And it's also a still, I think, yeah. Okay, so it goes here. Let's watch it. Did you see how that's actually two? There's two shots there. So it goes long shot, eye level, still. And Kip ties his rollerblade. I told rollerblade? Wow. He spikes his rollerblade. And literally it goes up. After that, it's a new shot. And make a space in between every shot, okay? You're like, this is shot one. All of this is in fact, it would actually be a good idea to number them so you know. Okay. That's the description. Doesn't need anything. And this is that's how you do it. There you go. Okay. And then okay. That now, this right here is a close-up shot. Close-up shot. And it's actually, this level is looking from Napoleon's. It's looking from his perspective. And so it's sort of a low angle shot. Slight low angle. And it's a still. Okay. And then underneath it, maybe don't number it. Looks like it's too difficult to figure out how to number it. You just don't want the 4. There we go. Okay. All right. And what happens in this is Kip speaks to Napoleon. and then he says the stuff. And then for when they say things, you gotta make sure it's really clear that they're saying something. So just make sure that you have the name of the character who's speaking. Usually do it in all caps, or Kip, and then what Kip says. And this one's kind of lucky that they already wrote it on the thing. They wrote it down, you know. And I'll tell you guys, you might be able to find the script somewhere. You might be able to even find the screenplay. And if you could, if you Googled it and you found the screenplay, you might be able to save yourself a lot of work. You can't submit the screenplay as written by them, but you could retype it, you know, out in this kind of format. You could type it out so that it was, and you just use that as a reference. It just might be easier. The other thing is you would see how they labeled the shots. You would see if they labeled the shots slightly different than the way that we are doing it, you know? And so then Kip is like, it'd be nice if you took me into town. Anyway, yeah. Okay, does this make sense, what you eventually have to do with this? Okay, so it's a piece-by-piece process. Yes? Yes, yes, so inside of YouTube, you are able to specify how much you share of a scene. Okay, so when you click on the share button, it says the start at. So let's say that you watch the scene. I apologize that it is a like this ad. Okay, blah, 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 ad. Okay, great, Harry Potter video clips. Let's say you don't want it to be until 1 minute and 53 seconds. That's where you want to share. Then you pull the thing to that place. You click on share and click start at that time. And then you would copy that URL so that then when you send it to me, it starts it right at that time. Okay, and I wouldn't worry too much if it's longer than the movie because it doesn't have a stop time. Don't worry about that. When you finish the original or when you finish your recreated one, I'll know. I'll be like, oh, they did not need more than that. Yeah, okay. Okay, any other questions about our recreated scene on how you eventually, so right now, the only thing you're doing is the URL. You're picking the movie. Pick the movie, pick it smart, be crafty, think about it. Be like, okay, what would be the most, what's gonna be the most reasonably, what am I gonna be able to do reasonably? Like I have a house that looks like that, or I have a backyard that looks like that, or there's a park by me that looks like that, or an old building that's by my house that looks like that, and I have permission to go there. You know, think about that, and then think about the people that you have access to. So I'm thinking you could either enlist friends to work with you. You could enlist friends. You could make your family do this with you. You can, like, I mean, I love this example because this is just their dad and their mom. Like, that's the only people in this entire thing. They recreated the whole movie, and the girls play a lot of the characters. I don't know if you know that. They keep, like, every other shot, they dressed up as, you know, and then they probably did all the Napoleon lines and then all of the LaFonda lines, but that was actually the same character that was being Napoleon and LaFonda. You know, anyway, it's just, they had fun doing it. That's what I think I love about it, is that they had fun doing it. So there's that. That is that part of it. So pick smartly and make sure that you are really clear with your family about what it is that they have to do. which is the reason that your script here is so important, okay? It's really important because if you aren't sure, that's why you're like, hey, I know the first shot, I know what I have to do for it, and you've watched it a million times, you're really clear, and you're like, the only thing that happens is I set up the camera, and it's a medium shot, it's eye level, it's still, and the person playing Napoleon walks into the view of the camera, and it stops. And then it turns over to Kip, and it becomes a new scene. Does that make sense? This, I know it'll drive you nuts, guys. It'll be the most tedious thing that you do at all, because you will realize how many times the camera changes in a professionally made movie. You're like, what can you not do? It'll be a 2-second scene, you know, like that. That's really how they do it. They're like, it's only, scenes are done in so many shots. They do it from so many perspectives. And that's when you realize it's a lot more than lines. It's a lot more than lines. It's about how do you visually tell a story. And when the camera changes, it changes the perspective, changes who is the most important person for that scene. That's really what's happening whenever the camera stops. It's like, now Kip is the most important thing. And why is there a difference between this long shot scene where Kip is tying his rollerblades and this close-up shot where it's a space? Why do you think that they change that? Why do you think that they go from it being a body shot to being more of a close-up shot? I have my own idea. I have a suggestion. I will just say it. Okay, so the reason I think they do that is because in this moment, the most important thing is that we see that he is wearing rollerblades. We see rollerblades, and we see his wrist warmers, and we see that it's like pink rollerblades. So we're seeing all this stuff that just shows us, you know, the patheticness of Kip, right? Or the interestingness of Kip, okay? But then, now the most important thing is that we see his face and we see what he says. So the camera had to change to be able to show us different things, okay? All right. So this is a work day. You are choosing your URL and submitting it by Sunday. And then you need to start the process of writing your script. There's not a template for this. This is just going to be you open up a blank Google Doc. And you start to write it. This is the easiest way to do it, is to split your screen between the video right here and this, unless you want to play it like on your TV or something, or you have a DVD, and then you're just going to be doing a lot of play, pause, play, pause, play, pause. That's what you're going to be doing over and over and over again because of that. The other thing you can do is look and see if the script already exists. That is a smart move, and it's not cheating. So I could say Napoleon Dynamite screenplay, and see if it comes up. It sure does. And we'll see, you know, if anybody actually transcript from the play. We'll see. This looks ridiculous. Okay. That's not the screenplay. Scripts.com. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure how much that would help you. You know, it might just be easier to, because that's not written like a screenplay. That's written just stupid. Anyway, okay. So that's what's happening. Anybody have questions? Oh, make your scene school appropriate, like don't have any swear words in it. And you're filming with your family, so don't make it like a love scene, you know, yeah.
So is everything due by Sunday? Like all the filming and everything?
No, so we have all next week to work on it, okay?
Okay.
So the
So
only thing due by Sunday is the URL. You just have to choose the movie by Sunday. And then
okay.
Monday, we start working on the screenplay, and we have a few days to work on the screenplay, and then you have some days to film it, and then we have days to edit it. Yeah, so.
And we just put the URL in and submit it?
Yep, inside of this assignment, the original URL, when you go to submit it, the only thing that will be there is a place to put a URL address. So when you
Okay.
say submit, it will just be a URL. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And if you haven't, if you missed yesterday, watch the original scene of Napoleon Dynamite and watch the recreated one, because that's pretty funny. It's worth seeing. I think it's worth seeing.